remember when I was talking to suppliers and factories, they would always refer to me as sir, or like they would always think it's a male talking to them until you would tell them your details and then they realize it's actually a woman behind the business. My name is Vidhi, I'm 25 years old and my business is called XVXII, which is a local jewellery brand. Our unique selling point is that we are completely waterproof and tarnish free and that we cater to everyone. Personally, I advocate a lot for women in business. Even when we are talking to stakeholders or we're meeting people, if let's say I have a male figure with me, like for example my father or my partner, they would always assume that they are the owner of the company until I start talking to them and then they realize that they were talking to the wrong person. The minute they realize that I am the owner, the way they talk, as much as I'm trying to be professional, you can notice that they are slowly losing interest because they don't have much of an interest dealing with a woman because they might assume that we might not do the job as well. I wanted to make sure that I provided women with the same support and the same encouragement that we as women can do whatever we want. We started off with just online sales and then we got into the retail scene in 2021 August. So the turning point for the business was actually when we did a pop-up at Paya Lebar. This was about mid of 2021. We actually put in our largest investment as for rental. I think it was about $500 for the week, which is actually very little considering the rental rates that we see now. I had no expectations making back the $500, but that entire week it went so well, we actually made back $10,000, which was insane. We were all very shocked and surprised actually. That's when I realized that, I have to get into retail. I think there is so much scope over here. We have a retail store at the entrance of Haji Lane. So the story for Haji Lane is quite funny. We were looking at different spaces for rental, initially planning to do it in a mall because that was the mindset that if you're doing a retail outlet, it should be in a mall. Me and my friend, we went to view a unit at Teka. We were walking back, we decided to have dinner at Haji Lane and then we saw this like random rental sign on the board. I called the agent and within I think a week, I fell in love with the unit. We signed the unit and we had it, and this was literally during COVID, so it was a huge risk. I remember my parents also being very afraid if I would even make that much back with profits every single month, but it was just the leap of risk that we were willing to take. So if you are someone who wants to start something, no matter what the risk is, just do it. I always say that I can't sugarcoat that you will be successful. I think failure is very inevitable. You probably will fail, but you should never be left with the thought that you didn't try. You need to be very accepting of the idea of failure because if you're very scared of the outcome, you hinder yourself of a lot of opportunities that you could get. It's actually printed on our store wall as well. I do want to be known as a brand that, was always inclusive, always had the best community where people felt that they could come in, enjoy not just our products but our services, the overall idea of the community, which is why we do hold a lot of things apart from our product selling. Like we have events, we have brand trips, we do a lot of things to keep the community engaged, and I want to be known for that. So not just a brand that sells things.